Hey buddies, SomeNutzGuy here. Hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to be teaching you 10 tips and tricks for a brand new game called Noita. It's launching out of early access today, assuming you're watching this on launch day, the 15th of October, and I've had a lot of fun with it so far. In fact, I put up a video on it already, my first experiences playing the game, and it turned out quite hilarious. It was a lot of fun. So if you'd want to check out that video, I'm going to put it in the top right corner of the screen here for you now, and the link will also be in the description below. But without further ado, let's get on into the video. But remember, if you enjoy it, if you like it, if you learn something new, don't forget to leave a like or perhaps subscribe. Let's go. The first few tips are about the various liquids that are in the game and the various uses for them. Water in particular is very, very useful, and you start with a water flask like so. Now firstly, tip number one is that water will remove both fire, so you light on fire, throw some water on yourself, just a little bit will do, and surprise, surprise, the fire is gone. Water will also remove poison, although it takes a little bit longer and you need to spray it on yourself a little bit more to get it to go away. Happy days. Tip 2. You can use small amounts of water to dilute large amounts of toxic sludge. So here we've got a big pool of toxic sludge, and if I start spraying some water in there, you'll see that it'll very quickly dilute the whole vat. So you don't have to spray a whole load of water in there, just a small amount will dilute the entire thing. Tip number 3, because water is so useful, you want to make sure you keep your water flask full at all times. To refill your water flask, or indeed any vial, all you need to do is select that flask and submerge yourself in the liquid up to about at least sort of halfway, and it will start automatically filling. Once full, exit, happy days. Tip 4. There are a bunch of different liquids that you can become covered in Noita. As we've seen so far, we've gone through some of the basic ones. There are some more interesting ones, Acceleratium, Berserkium, things like that, that I'm not going to go through because part of this game, part of the excitement is, discovering things for yourself. So I'm just going to be covering very, very basic stuff today. But stains are anything that make you wet. One of the most basic of which is, of course, water. Or it can be toxic sludge, or it can be blood, or it can be slime, or oil, or some other more exciting ones. And let's see if we can find you some examples of different types of stains. The blood stain will, on top of protecting you from fire, also grant you a higher chance to hit critical strikes. The oil stain will make you slide around, and also will make you light on fire much easier. The slimy stain also protects you from water, but it does make moving around quite a bit more difficult. You tend to stick to surfaces, and it's a bit of a pain in the butt. It's a nice pink color though. And the whiskey stain will make you more flammable, but will also reduce your accuracy of your spells. Tip 5. Pre-applying or covering yourself in most liquids will protect you from walking in flames. If you're covered in water, as an example, or you're covered in blood, or you're covered in slime, you can walk right into flames and you'll see the water percentage will start to decrease quite quickly. But you can walk right in there without taking damage until the water has run out. Blood will also work, and so will slime. So if I cover myself in some blood, not only do I get a critical strike bonus for being covered in blood, but I can also walk in fire and it will not hurt me. Pink slime will also do the same. Tip 6. You can actually bottle any liquid in any bottle, and you can also bottle multiple liquids in the same bottle, which could potentially be used to some benefit along the way. So we're now filling this bottle here up with oil, and it's now going to shoot out water and oil at the same time. I don't see why that in itself would be useful, but there are potentially some very useful combinations that you can create. Maybe do some experimenting. Tip 7. Water is a useful tool, as we've seen, but it can also be used as a weapon against particular enemies, such as these flamey guys here. These guys can spawn as early as the first level, and they can do a lot of damage if you let them hit you. Now, they have quite a bit of health as well, but one way you can take them down is by covering them in water. Water will damage these guys. Let's see if we can get this one here. And either the pool of water that he's standing in or spraying it on him will do quite a bit of damage and finish him off for you quite quickly. Tip 8. In between each of the stages within the game, you'll reach this little midway store point where you can purchase spells or new wands and acquire perks. Additionally though, something I didn't realize straight away was that you can customize your wands while here. If you press I, you'll enter wand customization, and you can actually move your spells around from one wand to another or into the storage area for later use. Tip 9. Understanding your wands and your spells' different stats. Wand customization is a lot of fun in this game and can be a little bit confusing. Hopefully some of this information will make a little bit more sense. So if we look at our wands and our spells, we got a bunch of words and numbers, and we're going to try and help make sense of those for you. Shuffle determines whether the wand is going to be shooting spells in order, i.e. Spark Bolt, Bomb, Spark Bolt. If it's no, or if it's yes for shuffle, it can shoot these in any order. The spell's cast refers to how many spells it'll cast at the same time. 1 obviously will be the individual spell, and 3 as an example would shoot all 3 of these spells at the same time. Cast delay is the delay between casting individual spells along the chain, and recharge time is the time that it takes you to reload the magazine if it was an FPS, i.e. once I've shot all 3 of these spells, it will then start to recharge, and it'll take 0.4 seconds to recharge until I can cast these 3 spells again. The mana max is how much mana that the wand has in total. The mana charge speed is how quickly the mana on that wand will recharge. The higher the better. Capacity is how many spells that wand can hold, so 3 for this one and 1 for this one. And spread is how randomly, in terms of the direction, the trajectory of the spells that come out of the wand are. Higher spread will mean spells come out at random angles. Lower spread will mean that it comes out quite straight. In terms of your spells, it shows you the type. This is a projectile as an example, so is this. It will tell you how much mana that spell will drain, or if it has a number of uses before it runs out. It will show you the damage and the damage breakdown. So this does explosion damage, which will show the explosion radius and the speed. This shows a individual damage number because it's an individual projectile with no explosion. Individual spells will also add modifiers to the wand's basic stats. As an example, Spark Bolt will increase the cast delay, reduce the spread, and offer an additional 5% crit chance. Bomb will simply increase the cast delay by 1.67 seconds. Hope that makes sense. There's a lot of different stats and attributes and various different things that various different spells will have. So honestly, you just want to go out, find as many spells as you can, science them out, and figure out what works best for you. Tip 10, passive modifiers. There are some spells that will actually just modify the way that your other spells work. As an example, we have double spell and triple scatter spell. Double spell casts 2 at a time. Triple scatter spell casts 3, but reduces the accuracy massively. There's loads of other things that you can get as well. So again, just experimenting and seeing what you think is coolest, works best for you. I don't want to give it too much of it away, just give you a general gist, and then you can kind of go out and science it yourself.